एंड आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू कि जब जब जुल्म की आंधी आती है तो महान चरित्र वाले लोग पैदा रहते हैं, एंड नेल्सन मंडेला वाज वन ऑफ देम. यू नो, ही स्पेंट 30 years in prison, and he joined African National Congress, and his party won 252 out of 400 seats, and he became the first black president of South Africa. तो मैं आज सोच रहा हूँ कि इंस्टेड ऑफ टॉकिंग द ब्रीफ अबाउट दिस चैप्टर, rather than we'll discuss one by one the NCERT क्वेश्चन आंसर, सो दैट कि सारे चैप्टर का निचोड़ आपको हर क्वेश्चन में आ जाएगा. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं नेल्सन मंडेला, और एक एक क्वेश्चन करके हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे. सो द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, वेयर डिड द सेरेमनी टुक प्लेस? कैन यू नेम एनी पब्लिक बिल्डिंग इन इंडिया दैट आर मेड ऑफ सैंडस्टोन? यू नो, जो मुख्य समारोह हुआ नेल्सन मंडेला, एंड ceremony took place in Union Building, Pretoria, you know, which is an amphitheater. And in India also, the building which is made of sandstone, like our President House and Red Fort. You can say that you can take two example which is made of the red the sandstones, you know. So ये आपको NCERT का पहला क्वेश्चन का आंसर हो गया. Once again I am repeating. First question was where ceremony took place. The ceremony took place at Union Building, Pretoria, which is made of sandstone. And India, the building made of sandstone is the Red Fort and also Rashtrapati Bhavan, you can say. So the second question is, can you say that 10th May is autumn day in South Africa? Yeah, we can say that 10th May is autumn day. Because in autumn day, what happened? The leaves shedding the yellow leaves, the plant leaves shedding the yellow leaves, and similarly in South Africa, white skin people were dominating to black skin people more than 3 centuries, you know, 300 years, and they left a great deep wound for the people of black people of South African people. Now today, a non-racial democratic government have been formed, a true government by election, and Mr. Nelson Mandela became the first black president. So we can say that 10th May is autumn day, because the old government, old system has been overturned by new system. The new government has joined here, and which is a very, very rational government, and therefore we can say that 10th May is autumn day. So now the next question is, at the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentioned an extraordinary human disaster. What do you mean by this? Now, what do you mean by the extraordinary human disaster? Means that white skinned people were dominating to black skinned people in South Africa. They were suppressing to black skinned people. They lived the long lasting wound in the heart of black skinned people, and that is why Mandela says that it was extraordinary human disaster, which is not easy to forget this old, which is given by the British rule, you know. And what is the glorious human achievement? He talks about the glorious human achievement. He talks about that today the government, non-racial government has been formed, which is a totally democratic government, and this government is very, very rational, very true, and this government is work for the welfare of common people, and that is why today, this day is very, very glorious. We have achieved the glorious human achievement. He tells like that. So the next question is, what does Mandela thank the international leaders for? Naturally, the international leaders, the dignitaries, the government representative from many countries, they become witness of this historical ceremony. Because this auspicious ceremony, when Mr. Nelson Mandela is taking the oath, and the other his comrades also who is taking the oath, like the black as the deputy president also. So the ceremony is a very, very grand ceremony where 1 lakh people assembled there, people are dancing, we are enjoying, and in that auspicious occasion where the 170 countries people, they are representing, and they have come on the soil of South Africa, and that is why they have become the witness that today South African they have achieved their big achieved goal, and it was the victory of common man, common dignity for the fundamental right of the people, and that is why they are celebrating, they are dancing, people are very happy, and Mr. Nelson Mandela is addressing that today all the international leaders has become the witness of this grand occasion, you know. Now the next question is, what idea does he set out in future of South Africa? He set out the in his the first speech when as a president is addressing to the country, he is addressing to the country that in future also, in future, never, never, never again, nobody can dominate to another body, as they have already experienced that white skinned people were dominating to black skinned people. British rule, they were dominating to black skinned people. Black skinned people were out of the mainstream or main laws. They were not getting their fundamental right. Their freedom has been curtailed. They have not given the facilities of study, transitory freedom, their fundamental right. All of this experience they have. Now onward, the government is making a firm commitment that will work only for welfare of the people, and nobody can dominate to other people. That he is assuring to the citizen of South Africa on behalf of his African National Congress, which he won 252 seats out of 400 seats. And now he is in the majority. Now, what idea does he set out in future in South Africa? This we have already discussed. Now, what do military generals do? Has their attitude changed and why? It is the very common tendency of military generals that they show their loyalty to the present government, and naturally they should be also, because in fact military generals they are not showing their loyalty to the any government. In India also, if the present government, the present military system is showing the loyalty to present government, it is not showing the loyalty to present government, rather than the present government is representing, it is the representation of the common man, because the government is formed by the election. And that is why it is the trend across the world. If you see any kind of system, democracy or any other system, you will see that the military general, they will show their loyalty to the present government, because the present government has been formed by an election procedure by the common man. So they see as they show their loyalty to the Indian to the constitution also, and that is why the military generals show the loyalty to the present government. And naturally in South Africa also, the same military general we used to they arrest Mr. Nelson Mandela. Now he is saluting to Nelson Mandela. Now you can see the same military general which were they arresting to Mr. Mandela, now he is saluting. So it is the power game, because Mandela has achieved, he has become the first black president of South Africa. So it is the moral responsibilities, it is a duty, it is the loyalty that military general is showing to the present government, as well as the democracy, as well as to the constitution of the country. So now the next question is, why two national anthem has been sung? In every country there is one national anthem. In India also one, in America also one, every country. But in South Africa, why two national anthem has been sung? The question is that. Now, since the new constitution has been formed, to take care the sentiment of both white skinned people as well as black skinned people, two national anthem has been sung. Though at that time, the bands, the singers, they had no idea what were the lyrics, how to play the sound. So they had no idea, but rather than they have the devotion, they have the feeling for the country, and that is why they are playing the national anthem. So two national anthem has been sung in South Africa. How does Mandela describe the system of government in his country in the first decade and final decade of 20th century? In first decade of the 20th century, Mandela thinks that government system, that government is white skinned people were dominating to black skinned people. So they have left a great, deep, long-lasting effect in the heart of black skinned people. But at the end of 20th century, in the last decade, he is talking about for the future of South African people. He is telling that my people is the purest than the pure diamond of the South Africa. So they are very important. He is giving priority to the common people, and he is thinking for the welfare, for the future of the common people, dignity, peace, and justice. He is making a firm commitment to the people that I will work for dignity, peace, and for the fundamental right of the people, and never, never, never again nobody will dominate to other body. That he is assuring to his citizens. Now, what does courage mean to Mandela? It's a very common question. Mandela tells that courage means it's not absence of fear. If I am courageous, it does not mean that I have no fear. No. He is telling that meaning of courage is to trump over fear, to conquer over fear, to win over fear. And that is the meaning of courage. Because South African people, they are tolerating, because they were tortured by British rule. But they never broken down. They never kneel down. They were fighting, even men, women, everybody. And that is why he is saying that what is the meaning of courage? The meaning of courage to trump over fear. Now the next question is, which does he think natural, love or hate? It's very common what Mr. Nelson Mandela is talking, that love is a very, very common. You have to not to give to training how to love. But as far as hate is concerned, hate is the training has been given how to do hate. How to do hate on behalf of racial system, apartheid system, discrimination, religion, caste. These things have been created in the society. And what Mr. Mandela is talking, that hate is not a common phenomenon. It's not a spontaneous. If you are giving training to doing how to do hate, you must give training how to do love. And he is giving emphasis for love because love is natural. And I would like to tell you that when Mr. Mandela was in the prison, one of the guard of British rule, he had a very good behavior. He had a very good interpersonal relation with Mr. Nelson Mandela, and that is why he is recapitulating that I have not bad concept for all the British men. Some of the people may be cruel, but some people have had a good behavior with me. They behaved nicely with me when I was in prison, and that is why he is giving emphasis that the love is very, very common. Human beings means love, living together, social. Which two obligations does he mention? The two obligations in everybody's life, there are two obligations. One is obligation for the family. I mean, for your mother, for your parents, for your wife, for brother, relatives, for religions, for community. You have a lot of responsibilities, This moral obligation. And the main obligation, that is obligation for the country. The country where you have taken birth. And your responsibility is that you have to be loyal for that country. Suppose we are living in India, we have to be loyal for the country first. And this message Mr. Mandela is giving to his people. Where did being free mean to Mandela as a boy, as a student, and what is the contrast the transitory freedom? During childhood, Mandela, what he thinks that I am free because I can swim in the river, I can run around the hut of my mother, I can cook mealies under the sky at night, I can ride on bullies, and that is why I am free. So during childhood, it was the thought of Mr. Mandela. Later on, when he became a student, now he realized that his freedom had been curtailed. And not only his freedom, also the freedom of his brother, sister, and other relatives, society, religion, community, everybody's fundamental right has been curtailed. And when he became adult, he understood that his fundamental right has been totally taken by the British rule. So you see how the concept of the freedom has been changed in the mind of Mr. Mandela. What he thinks during childhood, it was an illusion. Later on, he understood that during childhood, when I was thinking that I am free, it was an illusion. But now he is realizing what is the meaning of freedom, right? So next question is, does Mandela think that oppressor is free? Why? Why not? As what is Mr. Mandela is saying, same thing the father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, also used to say. जुल्म करना और जुल्म सहना दोनों पाप है. ये बात महात्मा गांधी भी कहा करते थे. Both oppressor and oppressed are robbing the humanity of each other, and that Mr. Mandela is talking about. मिस्टर मंडेला भी वही बात बोल रहे हैं जो महात्मा गांधी भी कहते थे कि जुल्म करना और जुल्म सहना दोनों पाप है. It means both oppressor and oppressed are robbing the humanity of each other. So both are responsible. If somebody is crushing you, somebody is dominating you, why you are not protesting? Who has stopped you? Why you have not protested? So what Mr. Mandela is talking, it is the responsibilities of individual, that everybody, if somebody is doing illegal, if somebody is doing wrong with you, why you are not protesting? So this is the meaning of this question. Did a large number of international leaders attend the inauguration? Why did a large number of, what did it signify the trump of? Why did large number of crowd attended this grand ceremony? It means that the international community has accepted the origin of a new country, new democratic country, which was out of stream. Now, which has entered in the mainstream. ये देश पहले मुख्य धारा से अलग था, कोई जानता नहीं था, अब ये मुख्य धारा में आ गया। इसीलिए इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी समुदाय आज इसको स्वीकार करने के लिए 170 देश के राष्ट्राध्यक्ष वहां पहुंचे हुए हैं। The leaders, international leaders, the dignitaries, the representatives, they reach from across the country, from 170 country, and they become witness of this auspicious grand ceremony. What does Mandela mean when he says simply the sum of the African national patriot who had gone before him? In fact, Mandela is not taking credit that I am great, I have done everything. No, no. He tells I am a simple man. But my other comrades who had already gone before me, they are great. And because of that, today, South Africa got its freedom. I am very simple man. It is the credit of those. तो आज इस वीडियो में सारा ये संभव नहीं है, बट इन माय नेक्स्ट वीडियो फिर मैं दोबारा फिर आऊँगा और कुछ किसी और चैप्टर पे डिस्कस करूँगा, लाइव करूँगा। अगर आप मुझे मोटिवेट कीजिए, लाइक कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, तो एक और चैप्टर के साथ बहुत ही इफेक्टिव तरीके से मैं आऊँगा। इट इज़ माय कमिटमेंट। थैंक यू वेरी मच टू ऑल ऑफ यू।